Hundreds of Israelis will be attending this year's conference, which officially opened this afternoon. Joining us straight from the Egyptian heat is Times of Israel environment reporter Sue Surkes. Hi, Sue. Good to have you.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Hello, Sue. Please describe to us what will be happening in these 2 weeks, who and what are expected to see at the conference.
First of all, something like 50,000 people are expected, plus between 90 and 100 world leaders, including Joe Biden, but not Xi Jinping of China and not India's Narendra Modi. Of course, those are two of the countries with the biggest emissions. Our President Herzog arrived this morning and is already meeting with other leaders. There's a very large Israeli delegation, including 4 actually outgoing ministers. The activity here is really split between 3 areas, between a blue zone, which is for accredited people like ministers and officials and the media and what have you. And there are a lot of pavilions, including the first Israeli pavilion ever at a COP event, and actually the first one on Egyptian soil for 37 years. There's a green zone for NGOs, and there are many, many Israelis there. And a third area has opened this year, which is called the Climate Action Innovation Zone. Now, all of these have numerous pavilions, each running loads and loads of activities over the conference, which goes through to the 18th of November. So it's quite difficult to choose what to go to. The conference officially opened yesterday. It'll only really get going tomorrow. And really the emphasis can be felt here on the developing nations as very much, the events are very much directed at the developing nations. One of the issues, for example, is loss and damage, which is how to compensate the developing nations for the disasters that are befalling them as a result of climate change, which was really caused by, the Industrial Revolution and the activities of the richer Western nations. So there's going to be a lot of hard bargaining and hard discussions here.
Yes.
I think there's limited optimism in terms of what the outcomes are going to be.
I'd like to ask you also, everyone on Earth is sending representatives, and it seems that they would all agree on all of it. So what's to uphold? I mean, what are the big questions at the heart of the negotiations there?
Well, the big questions, as always, are how far countries are willing to go to cut their carbon emissions, and they're just not willing to go far enough. The scientists have said that for us to remain within 1.5 degrees centigrade increase in temperature compared with pre-industrial times, for that to happen, we need to cut carbon emissions by something like 45% by 2030. It's just not happening. We've got the war in Ukraine with Russia using its natural gas as a bargaining tool, so that all the time now there's a massive scramble on to produce more gas, to produce more oil, and to mine more coal. So the emissions are going up and will continue to go up for some time. There isn't really much to be terribly optimistic about at the moment, although, people always say that there's still a window of hope and there are still things that can be done. Now, Israel's take on this is technology that we as Israel have a
There's a really big Israeli delegation this time, we see.
There's a huge Israeli delegation, yeah.
Why is it so important? Why is it so important for Israelis this time?
I think it's important for 2 reasons. First of all, Israel believes that it has a real contribution to make in terms of its climate tech. So that, if I counted correctly, there are going to be, I think, 39 organizations here that are either climate tech companies or VP investors or other sorts of organizations. The pavilion will be showcasing 10 tech companies, and then there's other events going on in and around. There's a major business event that's going on tomorrow, which will be hosted by the Israel Export Institute with the Economy Ministry's Foreign Trade Administration, the Foreign Ministry, and the Israeli Manufacturers Association. And they will be looking at 39 or presenting 39 different organizations, so plus the 10 at the pavilion, it's 49, nearly 50 altogether. There's a lot of officials coming in from lots of ministries, coming in for different parts of the conference, which goes on until November the 18th. As I said, there are 4 ministers here, academics, scientists, businessmen, you name it. I don't have an exact figure because I wasn't able to get an exact figure, but many, many dozens, certainly.
Sue, just one quick question. How optimistic are you this time in one sentence?
Let's say cautiously to look on the bright side.
Thank you very much for being with us, Sue. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's Emmanuel Kadosh. I wanted to invite you all to subscribe to ILTV Plus, where you can find our daily news and updates about Israel. And not only that, but live feeds, entertainment, our kosher food show, and so much more. Needless to say, your subscription to ILTV Plus helps us grow and create more content while also supporting the state of Israel. Our app is available on all platforms and devices, so I'll see you guys there.